1 year has passed and now we return. Welcome to Resurrection Cup 2025. A new chapter begins, reforged with a new theme, new visuals, and a brand new lineup of beat maps crafted to challenge with the very best. I'm Krimek and today we unveil the very first step of the journey, the Qualifier Mappool. And I'm joined by my co-host and the organizer behind it all, Friel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Friel. It's been an absolute pleasure working on Resurrection Cup 2025 so far, and boy oh boy, we have so many surprises coming up. You can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's true. You already heard it.
To start off with, we have the BGM. The current music that you could hear during the countdown is our first original for this year. It's the stream background music composed by Sugi, Haven Revolution. It's gonna be released in approximately either tomorrow or in 2 days. And yeah, the GFX is done by also me. Our lead GFX, who has been absolutely hard carrying us this iteration. Almost everything is basic. Like, whatever main theme you see, like the watercolor in the background right now, the overlay as well, it's all also me. Actually, the implementation is of course up to the developers, Hoek and Trizy, but the overlay, as you can see, the layout is also me. So I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like we shouldn't really waste any time because, you know, registrations have opened and you finalize your registration by claiming a lobby and playing through your lobby. So let's just see that no mod 1.
There we go, starting with the Qualifier Mappool, the very first map of this tournament. UCL, Phalanx, the No Mod 1 pick. And I would say this map is pretty much a good all-rounder. Quite fast, quite aim-heavy with the burst. Yeah, pretty much a good all-rounder for a No Mod 1. Definitely also a good wall map for the lobbies when you start qualifying.
Definitely consistency focus, that's for sure. And if you remember, 2 years ago, the Qualifiers No Mod 1 in Res Cup 2023 was also a custom map by Yumerios. Yume is actually one of the Mappool quality assurance people who helped us through every single bit of custom map that you can see throughout the tournament. But if not every single bit of them, but most of them, he has seen most of them. And let me tell you, there's gonna be some interesting things regarding this pattern of old mappers returning to their original slots. Because Yume No Mod 1 also means that you will most likely see our mappers in like the same spots that you have seen them in this Cup 2023. This also doesn't exclude composers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. We have a lot of mappers from last year and also a lot of new ones joining. So you might recognize a lot of map styles and you'll also find a lot of new maps.
As you could see on the website as well, the staff team have expanded. I think it almost doubled its size from last year. Mappers from all generations, like we have a ton of people joining. Like we have Chris, Xarius, and also newer mappers like Rosenbean and Lichin. But this makes things interesting. You say what the Yumerios, yeah.
I mean, something that you didn't mention in the beginning, but we also changed the format from a 4v4 to 3v3. So the tournament has like a small revamp, but we're still sticking to a lot of the things that made Resurrection Cup 2024 so interesting. I would almost say like our goal was just making everything larger and better.
Yeah, the revamp had to happen from a bunch of different reasons, because we kind of felt like reducing the team size and also the currently playing team size would probably help with the matches being even more and more intense.
Yeah, I think it's intense, but also a bit more balanced, right? Like, reducing the team size and also the active players per match also makes more space for more teams to register overall. So I think
true.
that will make all the matches more interesting in general.
With the smaller team sizes, you probably don't really... Well, you can still aim for people who are all-rounders and can play everything, but in all honesty, like, if your team only consists of like people who can stream, maybe excel at consistency, excel at finger control, you can always just have a team of 5 and then ban those maps who are not really, like, you know, who are not exactly excelling at.
Yeah, I agree. And that was Nomad 1. I really like this map.
Moving on to Nomad 2 is not a custom, it's a Shosai Kembo Sengen. Now, personally, I have a bit of a history with this song, because I'm pretty sure when I joined also in 2018, I remember finding a really old map set of this, because it was recommended me from Tilerino. It's like a farm map, and ever since then I tried HR assessing this map. Well, not this map, but this song. And I'm not sure who the mapper is for the old set, but yeah, to me this just feels so weird, because this brings back a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah, I remember. I also played this map like 10 years ago. It's a very old song.
Like, I'm pretty sure the original set is grid mapping.
Yeah, that's
true. Like, I'm actually gonna check. I can just quickly just open it up.
While he's checking, let me talk a bit about this map. I would say this is the most straightforward stream map that you will have in this qualifier. I will also say these spikes are very clear. It starts with like bursts, a bit more aim heavy, turning, as you can see, into more longer streams. And now after the KI end is where the death streams come. So I feel like this might be the section where the most people will break, if you're not that good into it in stream maps. But I think if you're a stream player, this map should be a piece of cake.
So the only aim technicality that this map brings is basically the triangles, and even then, this map is just extremely set on streams, as a Nomad 2 should be. Well, at least in Res Cup was.
It's also a bit more of a longer song, 4 minutes. The song basically just loops. So, what you've seen kind of repeats. But I think, yeah, it's a very fun map for a stream player. And it's also a really good rule check.
2.1k combo, so yeah, this is definitely the longer... Wait, is it actually the longest?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's not the longest. It's not the longest Mappool. I thought it was the longest, but it's not. It's like second longest or something. Very good. But mind you, this is definitely longer than the original set.
That's true, yeah.
Y'all never listened to the number 2 text. Thank you! I feel like I had to read that. No, but most of these, like, when we started the voting qualifiers, this pick included, this was actually a suggestion from Knight, one of our beloved playtesters. So, Knight really has a good taste in voting.
I mean, to be fair, the map was done by Tinamo, and I remember Tinamo's maps in a lot of tournaments, so I feel like he's a really good mapper when it comes to tournament mapping. especially stream maps. He's very well known for that, and you can tell why. It makes for a perfect NM2 slot.
Watch out for that ending triangle because that could catch you off guard, especially after that massive ass dash room. So we have Nomad 3. Rave to Rave. It's a Lucent map. The real OGs remember Lucent's original name, even though I'm pretty sure Lucent already moved on. But I remember it like it was yesterday.
This map very interesting. I feel like it's definitely like on the stream tech kind of skill set. You will see later on. Oh, we actually see it already now. The doubles in this map are so painful. It also has some reading aspect to it, with like the doubles into triples. I think if you play it a few times, you will definitely be able to read it. But it's the cut streams, and as we progress, you just saw it. Those cut double stream jumps, I would say, they're definitely the hardest part of the song in the map.
Not to mention that this is 165 BPM, and yeah, at some point, because the qualifiers overall, it's averaging about 7.5 stars, at least in terms of maybe not actually star rating, but I think actually star rating is just about 7.5. You'll see a lot more of these unconditional, or how shall I say, like not something that you see every day in like Nomad 3 slots, because you do kind of have to go higher and higher for Nomad 3s to get actually like difficult or properly difficult enough. Yeah, 165 is just something that we deem fitting for this star rating. Don't sight read this, by the way. This map is going to be vicious on you. If you it bites, it just bites. Unconventional is the word for it. Thank you very much, Mr. Resurrection Club.
Hey, you just said it. Definitely don't sight read it. I think that the tech part, or like the reading part, is getting easier if you practice it. But the space doubles, I believe they will not get easier. You either can play them, or you can.
Thank you very much, Konkon Kinakon, for the replay, by the way. Absolutely goated.
But I gotta admit, the mapping style, the straightforward tech, I really like these type of maps. And I think if you enjoy these specific type of maps, you will have a lot of fun with this map in particular.
Yeah, people, we were originally not planning with the website, but then our good friends over at Corsace actually helped us a lot. So shoutouts to Kevo and Poon with the website clutch, because it has been amazing using that so far. So yeah, the website is actually fully functional. Like everything is working, unlike last year. But yeah, moving on to Nomad 4 is gonna be another custom map, which is going to be Hyperlight by False Noise, made by Integer Tempest. Now, the song length is 4:30, but the journey time is about 2:39, if I recall correctly. And this map is just crazy. Like, I feel like there are no words explaining this. It's just so absurdly slider focused that the 6.47 star is just an illusion, people. It's just an illusion. It is not 6.4 stars.
It's definitely the type of map that looks easier watching than actually playing. As you can see, the movement of the sliders constantly changing. Also very, weird flow. Easy to slider break.
Oh, this is just slider break map in general. Like, I mean, there's barely any circles, like, if there is any.
I think the middle section has like a few streams introducing in between the sliders, but it's definitely mainly sliders.
Especially with Score V2, you know, Score V2 is counting in. Oh, there we have the circles.
Yeah.
So Score V2 counts in slider accuracy as well, so... Again, just like the previous map, Rave to Rave, you don't want to sight read this. Who put circles in my slider map?
Yeah, personally, this is what I would consider the hardest part. You can see the speed of the slider increasing, more rhythm to it. Yeah, so you definitely want to at least, if possible, full combo the first half, because as you can see, now it's getting really technical.
You know, I just realized those aren't sliderator sliders.
Yeah, they're all handmade.
They are all handmade, yeah. But I just realized the song does allow you to like use sliderator sliders. That's what I just realized. Even though I probably should have realized when actually pulling this, but sliderator sliders, I don't know, are they rankable now? I haven't caught up on the current ranking.
I think it depends. I mean, there's a lot to sliderator, like changing speed, or like the two more sliders. I think it has to be visibly readable, but I might be wrong.
Okay. Not rankable unless it's like obvious, okay. Well, I'll leave it at that, and moving on to HD1. Hopefully the overlay allows us to. Yeah, okay, nice. So HD1, for the past 2 years, I'm pretty sure HD1 has been extremely high BPM. There isn't really any particular reason why we have gone high BPM. It's mainly that I think this BPM range is just kind of having the best songs that are like bangers, and no one really vetoes that. Like, everyone seems to be agreeing with that. So let's be real, there's a lot of songs that are like between 220 and 250. Oh man, and I can see so many of them being like this HD1.
Yeah, HD1 definitely more of a speed pick. While HD2 and 3 will be more of the reading aspect type picks. So this one, I think, playable for a lot of non-HD players. As long as you can actually aim and click very fast, because that's what the map does. 248 BPM. 248 BPM. Almost 7.5 stars. Well, I have to say, this song is a banger.
High BPM awkward aim, yeah. Because this is definitely awkward. This is not really the same aim as you would expect from Phalanx, the low mode one. So
yes, less snappy aim. It's more like you saw the squares, which is more awkward to play. There's actually a lot of square jumps.
God, I love geometrical structures. Oh my god. Like, I definitely cannot play this, but this is this seems fun. Like, if I could play this, bro, I would have this on repeat.
I mean, as a mapper and former HD player, I feel like geometrical mapping always makes it a little easier to read, because you can kind of predict the angle, like the jump flow. But it definitely doesn't make the map easier in this regard, like playing it.
Thank you, Markram, for the replay, by the way. Absolutely goated. You know, with just OD9, it may not be that bad to act, but, you know, I'm kind of thinking, with awkward aim maps, your concern isn't actually with OD most of the time, it's just basically hitting the map, like hitting the patterns. This isn't a custom map, by the way, so that's not why I'm being overly positive about it. But it's still such a banger. I love this map. That being HD1. Now, now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The next map, HD2, is, according to many of our playtesters, is either the number one hardest map in the pool, or the second one, and then the actual like the hardest map is gonna be HR3, but that's a little bit of a spoiler. Anyway, moving on to HD2. You'll see why. Chaos Japan.
Yeah, I think you can already see by the intro. This is more of a very, very straightforward reading map with the overlapping patterns. This is something you will definitely have to practice, because sight reading this is a nightmare.
It's 6.2 stars, that means the easiest map in the pool. They solved it. They solved the mystery of the qualifiers pool.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Which is also important to mention is that this song is only 130 minutes long, so yeah, you definitely have to focus on these 130 minutes. There's no like... Yeah, it's basically what you're playing is what you're getting to score. Not like the 4 minutes where you can choke the half of a map and then just try hard the other half. This map is going to be over really fast. So definitely worth practicing a lot.
I mean, it's kind of the map that you can practically retry spam, though, because it is not that long. Let's be real. It is TV size.
Yeah.
So, also, if I recall correctly, this is also like from like almost 20 years ago, right? This is a song from Castle Crashers.
True.
Yeah, right. So I remember that. Anyway, HD3. Now, Hago map. I don't think it needs much of an introduction, except this is not a tech map. Not that I recall.
Yeah, the tech aspect is more like light tech, I would say. It's definitely just very fast light tech.
Psych? Psych? But, I mean, okay, from an objective standpoint, I feel like this is not the usual tech you would expect from Hago. Like, Hago definitely does go a bit harsher with the tech maps that they usually make.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, this is definitely more mechanical tech, so... I also feel like it's a bit of a change from last year's HD3, no? Because last year HD3 wasn't exactly mech tech. Not from what I remember. But at least I don't know what exactly what was the HD3, but definitely not a mech tech pick. Again, by the courtesy of Knight. This is an absolute goated pick. I love this. Even though I just can't play this. Like, I tried, but the best I could do is a B rank, so it's my...
I also feel like this is, again, a map that looks easier than it actually is when playing. It's really easy to break on those sliders. Like, Knight makes it really easy. Like, 1000 combo, it looks like it's super easy, but it's definitely not. It's just a good replay. It also
Well-
like mixes all these elements, like the fast sliders, the triples and cut streams, fast aim.
Well, in all honesty, I feel like it's one of those picks where you don't exactly aim for an FC. You just kind of want to get as much score as you can stack up. But I mean, FC is just optional here, you know, because with the other picks you can probably FC, but AG3 and HR3 are kind of the picks that us poolers don't really expect people to actually FC. It's more or less test out the whatever necessary was, you know, needed in the rest of the niches in the pool. So it's not exactly something that's meant to be FC'd. Of course, there will be people who's gonna FC this. I'm not denying that, because we are probably gonna have a lot of goats in our registration list. But moving on, we finally have HR1 overlay spoiled it us for us. It's Shouted Serenade. It's a custom map by Kesty and Skyflame. Skyflame returns to Rescap from he mapped Rescap in Rescap 2023, but took a gap year in 2024 due to personal reasons, I think. But that's not really up to us. The map though, 4.2 circle size without HR. And that makes 5.46. And it is absolutely precision locked. It's just set on precision. Irregular magic high, yeah. You know, it's such a relief to see Skyflame back, not gonna lie. And this collab between Casty and Skyflame was just so random, because I believe it was like people saw Skyflame returning, and then we were like, wait, that's prime opportunity for a collab. And that's how basically the Casty Skyflame collab was born.
Not gonna lie, when you see a map and you cannot tell which map on map which part, is a good call up.
Yeah, that is
Really
that is
good.
indeed a good collab.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the synergy between these two members. Like it was kind of a random collab at first, but it worked out so well. And I'm so proud of these two.
And they definitely nailed the precision map pick right here.
I kind of have to admit, it is definitely aim focused as well, but I do feel like HR1 have been an aim focus, just like No Mod 1 is. Since the beginning of Rescup, basically, like 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure that's something that never ever has changed. HR1 is always gonna be an HR1. You kind of just expect something there, and it's probably gonna be one of these maps. There's a good chance at least. $347. That makes it the longest HR pick in the pool, because HR2 is gonna be shorter, and also HR3 is gonna be shorter, but only by a little bit. originally this map was supposed to be CS4 by default, but was kind of just a little bit too easy for qualifiers, so we had to bump it up to 4.2 without HR. So that was HR1. Hope you guys like that, because this was an absolute joy to watch this collab going on. Moving on, we have HR2, which is gonna be our precision pick. It's a You Saw Me map. I know from a fact, well, I don't know if it has changed, but a couple of years ago, maybe like 4 years ago, when I was interested in pulling Relax, I know Relax players weren't exactly fans of You Saw Me mapping, but this is not a high star map. This is just, you know, a 6-star precision map. But it's still You Saw Me. The background choice is obvious. You know, this is one of the lighter background choices for You Saw Me.
I think this map makes a really interesting contrast to HR1. Less space, also lower in BPM, but it's the aim that's very interesting. It's more flowy, it's more controlled.
Still not something you would cite it, I feel like. Well, maybe you could. No, actually you could. You probably could. But I don't advise this. Yeah, I don't advise it, but this is definitely one of the more... like, I feel like the entire HR pool, aside from HR3, so just HR1 and HR2 are definitely sight read friendly. But if you really want to make sure on a better score, then obviously you should practice.
I think especially the KIs are something that might need a little bit practice. Back and forth. Those streams in between.
How I kind of feel like about this map is if Shadows in the Light had a 6-star version. I'm pretty sure most tournament players are aware of what Shadows in the Light is, so I just gave that as an example. Because while this is not tech, it does feature a lot of sliders that makes it feel like mech tech-ish. But even though it's probably not. So, but I just made that comparison because it just feels the same to me. Trying not to say mech tech during the stream, trying impossible. I love the word. It's a good. It's tech that tests your mechanics. It's just on point.
I mean, it's definitely a different type of, for example, precision. The HR1 definitely more on the aim-heavy side. This one here is hard to say because the map style is just very different, and the execution. You have a lot of symmetry, and then you have like all the flow elements in between. It's definitely a very different type of tech. Yeah, it's
Watch
also
out
getting
for
a bit
that
more
ending,
intense.
though.
Yeah, right. It's getting more intense towards the end.
We are going into HR3, and oh, so this either this or HD2 is the most difficult map in the pool, but you know, honestly, I'm a sucker for this song. Like this, Moth is just. What can you say, man? Moth is the epitome of alt. And also Flake. I'm not sure if Flake originally helped with this website, probably not. But the website is belonging to Flake, but Flake just took the top dev from the OWC custom. Not sure what year, maybe 2022. But as a fun fact, Moth... Go ahead.
Yeah, this map is definitely brutal, as you said. I felt like when I watched the map, it already looked hard as no mod. Hard Rock makes it definitely harder to aim. I think you would consider this like alternate pick.
It definitely, like when we were pulling, We definitely needed like something that's flow alt focused. So something like, oh shit, the event has passed. Oh, it's okay. So we needed something that's either petal, like petal alt, or DK Blaze alt. But then, while I was searching for not really used DK Blaze and petal maps, I noticed that hey, like this similar mapping style, this could be present in mobs maps as well. And that's when I just came across this beauty. Well, originally I came across the original set that was used in OWC, and not the Miku set. But yeah, this map is really brutal. Again, one of those maps that you are really not supposed to be FCing. But if you do FC, then you know, I'm gonna be so real with you. If you do FC this monstrosity of a map,
we will see you in grand final.
We will see you in grand finals.
Oh, definitely. It has a lot of flow elements. It has those rapid back and forth jumps on 150 BPM. That's very brutal.
It does feel like 300 though. Getchabote with the replay. Honestly, every year we have a different Hungarian playtester, and it's just so funny to me. In Res Cup 2022, we didn't have a Hungarian playtester, but in 23 we had Defi, 24 we had Glasswave, and in 25 we have Getchabote. They are all so goated, and they're also like they're so helpful. The friendliest Hungarians that I've met, that's for sure. But look at this replay, like the replay is low-key shredding. But I'm confident that yeah, if you do FC this map, you're most likely going to have a you're most likely going to be placed at a high seeding. So, moving on, we have DT1. Now, Deviatory DT1. What are you supposed to be?
It sounds worse than it actually is, because it's not a top diff on DT, but you can definitely tell there's a lot of streams going on.
I mean, you don't want the top diff on DT.
Yeah, definitely not, but it's important to mention. Well, yeah, 6 minutes 16 on DT, so that's like 4 minutes roughly, on almost 270 BPM. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge.
278, yeah. This is the longest map in the pool. Because without DT, this is 6 minutes or something? Yeah, it's 6:16. But the sheer consistency that's required for this. $272.5? That's the column BPM, yeah. Speed! Still feels more of a consistency pick to me than actual speed. Because this doesn't necessarily feel like stamina to me. Of course it's involving a lot of stamina, that's not what I'm saying.
I think the stamina aspect is hitting towards the end if you play for 4 minutes straight. But yeah, it's definitely, like, most streams are triples, so this part is more stamina heavy, I guess.
Oh, this part to me just is how finger muscle cramps are visualized. So, dear players of Resurrection Cup, please don't forget to stretch your hands before you play Speed.
And if it hurts, visit the doctor.
Yeah. Do hand exercises, you won't regret that. Or just win the tournament and get yourself a booting! Because this year's Resurrection Cup was sponsored by booting! Disgraceful. Ah! Sky! Don't be like that. And it's only 3/4 of the way in. At least you're given a little bit of a break. But also, I kind of feel like just because of that one break, I feel like this map, and this is a hot take, I genuinely feel like this map should not be pulled anywhere aside qualifiers. Because you don't want to see the leaderboard during that one break.
Yeah, it's setting in the nerves.
I mean, it still might, but, you know, in qualifiers it has less of an impact.
But it doesn't feel like everyone is watching you. I think this is making a difference.
Yeah, that's true. Because it's practically only the bot, the Corsairs bot, that's gonna be watching you.
Yeah, the
And
end section
his-
is definitely he's in its own. Getting hit with all the stream patterns possible.
Monstrosity. Monstrosity. 2.8k combo, by the way. That's the max that you can get on this. So moving on, we have DT2. This is the shortest DT pick in the pool. Anvilia. Cygnus. You know, if anything... Finger control. If anything, just finger control, period.
It's definitely, as you can see, less like, okay, there's long streams, but it's definitely the triples that are crazy, and more of the gritty aiming.
Brother, Cygnus discography, like, I can't. Like, Cygnus is... Cygnus does tournament customs, like original songs. And like, it's so different in like such a good way than your, let's say, average drum step song. I feel like whenever there's a tournament and you see Cygnus being pulled, like either in DT or just HD or maybe HR even, it's just gonna be a fun map.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a map that is fun practicing. It's also, I mean, if you can play this, I think it's also a good one for the Dimitory map that we have. So if you want to warm your fingers, that might be the map.
Though it does involve just a little bit of reading there. Like some overlapping sliders might make you question your aim sometimes. So moving on, we have the last map of the pool. As you know, it's qualifiers DT3. We won't have a TB this time. Not yet. Dorchadas. It's not the that Dorchadas, so don't worry about it. There's no sussy sliders here. This is just DT3. Just DT3. Nothing sus. It is odd though.
Yeah, the map's starting very slow, but as you can see, it's getting fast very quick. On its easy side, it has a lot of symmetrical jumps, which probably makes it easier to read. But then, if you look at the zigzags that we had at the beginning, yeah, there's definitely a few obvious patterns that you can easily choke.
Oh, I can assure you, those zigzags are not gonna be the last ones that we saw. Basically, NM3 but on a different level. Indeed, it's prime aim control, as how I would like to call it. It's practically 180 BPM streams, yeah.
I honestly feel like all depends on like how the vibe of the song is. If it sounds like an alt map, it's an alt map.
You know, yeah. Although, would I really call... Huh. I mean, no mod, this isn't really feeling like an alt map now, does it?
Yeah, you might be right. But
It
it
might
sounds
just
like
be
it.
like slow flow
time.
aim. So basically, if you like to play Lost Umbrella with DT, I don't know who does that, but if you like playing these alt maps with DT, so just basically anything above 300 BPM, if that's your cup of tea, then you'll probably just be fine on this. So there was a zigzag earlier that I haven't mentioned because I was talking. That's a little bit of RNG, I have to admit, but same goes for that.
Very difficult.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and that wraps up the Qualifiers Mappool showcase. I think you can expect the Mappool to be published in about 10-15 minutes, and then after that the qualifiers can start. You may schedule your lobby and you can play it right away. That is, if you just want to wing everything and just sight read. Recommend that, but oh, okay.
Hello.
So yeah, as I said, you can still expect the Mappool in about less than 10 minutes now. We only need to just publish the map pack and it should be available right away. But can't express it enough. Do the speed preparations, like stretch your hands, don't get RSI, and just practice the pool. You still have time, so don't worry about it. See you guys next stream.